Scene 1, take 1, at Pat. Okay, action.
This is Adelaide.
William O'Neill.
Jack Amberg.
Castle Coburn.
Jack Rendell.
Jackson Mills.
Donald Jackson Kittner.
Scene 3.
Scene 8, take 1.
What inspired me to start learning filmmaking is when I was little, I wanted to make a movie with my friends.
I wasn't actually inspired before I went to Plotline. I didn't go to Plotline. Plotline came to me. In elementary school, Plotline came to my school, and we were able to vote if we were gonna do it or not, and almost everyone chose it. I was one of those people, and when I did it, it just inspired me to make more films.
Okay, the thing that inspired me to get into filmmaking was a little video game called Gotcha Life. It's this game where you dress up characters and make scenes, and I would edit them on my Kindle Fire iPad in this app called KindMaster, and I'd make stories, and then my mom was like, oh, my daughter likes making videos, let's get her a creative outlet.
Well, my dad is a screenwriter, so it's kind of a requirement. From a young age, I have to be watching and researching film. You gotta know the difference between your Spielberg and your Scorsese. So, yeah, but I find it fun.
George Lucas and how he made Star Wars. I just thought of it in my head when I was 11 or 12, just me fighting and acting as a Jedi, basically.
I really love the camera, and I love acting so much because I get to not only express myself, but the characters that are given to me, and I love working with the camera and taking pictures.
I used to mess around with cameras when I was young, and I used to film my dog with one of my friends. And I had a box of Transformers from my father, and we would just mess around with those and I would film it. I think that's probably where it started. And then maybe 3 years ago, I think my mother found Plotline and was like, hey, there's a film class over here. And I was like, oh, that sounds fun, let's do it.
At an art fest 2 years ago or so, I just saw a tent, and I just thought it'd be cool to learn and decided to join.
I mean, I have basically learned everything about filmmaking from coming to Plotline. When I first came to Plotline 4 years ago, I had ideas for films, I had an interest in doing it, but I really didn't know anything specific about how any of the process worked. So Plotline is where I learned, all of the basics of how to use cameras, the screenwriting, the editing.
I have a lot of just ideas that come to my mind at 3 a.m.
I had a lot of ideas in my head, and just finding a way to express those ideas
until they become a story.
And share them with other people was really fun and enticing to me.
I think I've learned to be a little more open-minded. I'm not very specific with what I want at first, and I kind of take other people's ideas and see how I can kind of try and put those together, or make it work for everyone, or try and add my ideas but not try and exclude other people's thoughts,
I think the part of the collaborative process that I enjoy the most is working on the script. I really love seeing how all of our different ideas just mesh together to form one cohesive vision of what we're gonna make, right? Everyone thinks differently, and it's lovely to see how that all just coincides together. Everyone makes little bits of sacrifices. We all learn from each other, basically. One of the things I do when I'm writing script is I look around at what other people are writing and see if I can play off of that somehow. And I think that's just a really enjoyable part of the collaborative process for me.
So my creative process has evolved a little bit since I've started coming to Plotline, and one of the big things is learning to be okay with things not being 100% perfect all of the time, and just kind of learning that sometimes you have to let go of every little detail being perfect to be able to get something finished overall and have a finished product that's better than having something that's really, really good but just doesn't come together the way that it needs to.
And when I think of new ideas, I just try to display them in film ideas, like, for example, comedy, horror, action, all sorts of stuff. It just makes me feel happy, and I hope to make other people feel happy as well with my films.
Having like more out-of-the-box ideas.
Talking with other people in Plotline, that's a really fun part when we're coming up with ideas, because sometimes my ideas could be like missing something, and like as an individual person, there are things that I can't come up with that someone else can add, and I can also add onto other people's stories. So collaboration is a big part in that idea process.
I think acting is something that I really love with films.
What I like about acting is that you can just kind of like make the characters kind of how you want, but then also go off of what they're set to be.
Like, I think it's fun to just be like an evil villain or a weirdo, possibly both, because I have to be a normal person 365 days of the year, so.
Learning how the filmmaking process works, so I will not only be experienced outside of the camera, but also on the camera.
It's a lot harder than I thought it was. Whenever I was just watching movies, I didn't realize it was this much of a process to make even just a short film.
I think since starting Plotline, I've come to understand how films are made a lot better, right? Like, when you're just watching them, you really have only a surface level understanding of someone took a camera and pointed it at things, right? But you don't get to see what goes on underneath that, like all of the cooperation and the different technical difficulties, for example, like maybe a microphone isn't working, and you just don't really get to see that, and so I've gained a lot better understanding of that.
I just feel motivated because it's like a great place, and I just want to keep on filming and acting and editing.
I just like it. It's super fun getting to put something together and see a project through start to finish. Yeah, just really started to pursue it as a hobby, but also as a career.
Plotline has just been a change in my life. Just meeting Mr. Jim and Mr. Cody, they taught me how to act, they taught me how to write. It's just been so fun.